Hi, it's Dr. Greg Chance as a counselor and founder of the Center, A Place of Hope, providing hope now 40 plus years. I just want to mention there is a dark side, and one of the things that we're seeing in clients that we serve from all over the country and internationally is, and I made some important notes today. There's a dark side of the digital world. I know, we know this connectivity between social media and depression in our youth. Such, I've even written a book on this topic, the social media use and depression in our youth. Let me just mention this, that we know that social media, it is ingrained in our daily life. For our youth, 90+% spend a lot of time, and I know it sounds amazing, but with screens, 10 to 14 hours a day on screens, which is an amazing amount of time. As we know too, that the studies that show us that the extreme excessive use of, and that's to be defined, I realize, of social media will promote a person that's already got depression, or particularly in our youth, leaning that direction and struggling. Maybe they're struggling academically, they're struggling socially. The heavy use of social media just puts them right over the edge. And we do know that social media does fuel that constant need for comparisons. Here's the things you're going to feel: inadequacy, low self-esteem, and anxiety. Every time we see this. Social media puts unrealistic expectations on life, on our physical bodies, on looks, and it sets up a system of disappointment, and kids will feel worse and worse. Cyberbully behavior is obviously very prevalent. And so there's emotional abuse, another topic that I've written extensively on, but emotional abuse online through the cyberbully behavior. And then there's the sexual pressure, the sexualization at very early ages, and how this moves to a sexualized theme very quickly. There's the fear of missing out, FOMO. We've worked with younger clients who sleep with their phones under their pillows and the vibrates all night long. And I remember the gal that says, I can't miss out on a text from my friends. And, you know, the busy time for that social media in this age group of 12 to 17 is 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. So this has significant psychological effects: higher anxiety, obviously more sleep disturbances than ever before, just an increased vulnerability to mental health issues because of this. You have the sleep deprivation, you've got all the comparisons in social media, you've got the cyberbully, etc. It just keeps adding up. And here's some warning signs: irritability, isolation, and lack of normal social activity. And I've not even mentioned gaming yet. Irritability, isolation, and lack of interest in normal social activity. The digital world becomes the world. We step into that social media matrix, and kids have a hard time getting out, and because it creates their own reality. Most cannot set their own limits. The guardrails, the boundaries, I'll be on for 1 hour, but it's 6 hours. And there is something to be said about a digital detox. Start with 1 day a week. And I can tell you, I've done it. Start with 1 day a week, no technology. Watch what happens. That's a big experiment. We also know that, let me just say it, social media has its benefits. There is the benefits, but there's also vulnerabilities, and we do see the mental health crisis with our youth, and the contributions from social media are very large to that. So we do know that for many who entirely get away from the social media, they report doing really well and a lot happier. Can you find a balance between online engagement and real life? If not, then some of those symptoms of depression and irritability and pulling back and social isolation could be the signs and symptoms that it's time to allow for some help and maybe some accountability, therapeutic intervention. See if you can do a digital detox, see what happens, and can I find a greater sense of peace and joy? I think sometimes this does require some professional intervention because, like any addiction, the digital world can take on highly addictive qualities, and we don't even realize it. It's subtle, it's sneaky, but it's got us. And that's times where we may need to simply ask for help.